Hi everyone and welcome to TechCravers. If you're anything like me, handheld gaming isn't just about playing games, it's about recapturing that magic from our childhood. The feel of the device, the click of the buttons, the screen lighting up, it brings back memories. Today we're diving into the Anbernic RG34XX, a modern handheld that beautifully channels that classic vibe. I have three different color variants here: Indigo, transparent green, and this newly introduced Glacier version. We'll explore what makes each one special, why this device resonates so deeply with my sense of nostalgia, and later I also talk you through which custom firmware I prefer so that you can enhance your gaming experience. But now, without any further delay, let's jump into it. The Anbernic RG34XX is a standout in the world of retro handhelds. Its design is a loving homage to the original Game Boy Advance, featuring a comfortable landscape layout that feels familiar and ergonomic. It has a 3.4-inch IPS display with a resolution of 720 by 480, offering vibrant and crisp visuals. Powered by the all-winner H700 chipset, it ensures smooth performance across various retro platforms. It has 1 GB of LPDDR4 RAM, providing efficient and quick load times. It has dual micro SD card slots, allowing storage expansions up to 512 GB, so you can carry an extensive game library with you. It has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth 4.2 connectivity, enabling online play, streaming, and connection with wireless controllers. And lastly, it has a 3500 mAh battery, delivering up to 7 hours of continuous gameplay. But beyond the specs, it's the tactile experience, the button presses and the form factor that truly transports you back in time. But now it's time to take a closer look at the different color variants. Starting out with the stunning Indigo color, a shade that not only exudes elegance but also pays homage to the classic handhelds of the early 2000s. This deep purple hue is a direct callback to the original Game Boy Advance, instantly evoking that nostalgic feel for longtime fans. There's something about it that feels timeless, like it belongs in your hands just like it did all those years ago. The way it catches the light, the subtle matte finish and the overall build quality make it feel premium, while still staying true to that early 2000s Nintendo aesthetic. Whether you're playing Pokemon, Metroid or Mario Kart back in the day, this color just hits differently. It's bold without being flashy, and it's that perfect balance of nostalgia and modern refinement. But it's not just about the aesthetics. I've installed muOS on this one, a custom firmware that takes the RG34XX to the next level. What makes muOS special is its simple setup and user-friendly interface. Once you flash muOS to an SD card, it automatically populates the card with folders, making organization a breeze. All you need to do is to drop your ROMs into the ROMs folder, and just like that you're ready to play. No complex configurations, no extra steps, just pure retro gaming goodness. With muOS you also get performance optimizations, better emulator compatibility and an easy to navigate UI, making the gaming experience smoother and more enjoyable. Whether you're revisiting old classics or diving into games you missed, this setup makes it effortless. The next RG34XX we're looking at is the mesmerizing Glacier color, a design that beautifully captures the essence of early 2000s handheld gaming. This variant is a heartfelt nod to the classic Game Boy Advance Glacier model, instantly transporting us back to those cherished gaming moments of our youth. The Glacier color isn't just a transparent white, it carries a subtle blue hue reminiscent of the original GBA's iconic design. This thoughtful touch not only enhances its visual appeal but also deepens the nostalgic connection for many gamers. And to elevate this experience further, I've installed the Knulli custom firmware. Following the comprehensive setup guide by Russ from Retro Gamecore, Knulli, a fork of Batocera, offers a feature-rich environment with emulation station frontend, allowing for extensive customization and enhanced performance. By adhering to Russ's recommendations, the firmware installation was straightforward, resulting in a system that is both stable and user-friendly. This setup not only broadens the range of playable titles, but also introduces features like box art scraping, theme customizations, and improved emulator support. Combining the timeless Glacier aesthetic with the robust capabilities of Knulli, the RG34XX transforms into a versatile handheld that honors the past while embracing modern enhancements. And lastly, the transparent green Anbernic RG34XX is a real throwback to the early 2000s. If you were a fan of the Game Boy Color's Kiwi Green or the Atomic Green N64 controller, this color is for you. There's something about that see-through plastic design that instantly makes me feel like a kid again, peeking at the internals and imagining all the magic happening inside. It's vibrant, fun, and just screams retro tech aesthetic. But here's the thing, the hardware is solid, but the stock firmware, not so much. I stuck with Anbernic's original firmware on this one, and while it has improved with each update, it's still miles behind the custom firmware options. The overall user experience just feels clunky. For one, the theme designs are super basic. They work, but they feel uninspired, especially when compared to something like muOS or Knulli, which offers slicker interfaces, better organization, and more customization options. And then there's that weird menu naming choice. Instead of something straightforward like Game ROMs, you have to go to RG Game to find your stuff. What does that even mean? And speaking of that, why does it say rooms instead of ROMs? It feels like a sloppy translation, and it's kind of a small detail that makes the whole UI feel unfinished. But my biggest complaint, the screen is way too dim. Seriously, even when maxed out, it's noticeable darker than running custom firmware. The moment I switch over to something like muOS or Knulli, the screen instantly looks brighter and clearer. It's almost like Anbernic is software limiting the brightness, and I have no idea why. So while the transparent green color looks amazing, the stock firmware just doesn't do this device justice. If you're picking up an RG34XX, custom firmware is an absolute must. It transformed the experience from decent to genuinely great. But hey, if you just want to stare at that gorgeous translucent green shell, at least the hardware itself is still a win. And at this point, when you finally got your perfect setup, your RG34XX in your favorite color, running the firmware that works best for you, it could officially be your daily carry handheld. I take this thing with me everywhere. When my ROG Ally X, Steam Deck or Odin 2 Portal feel too big to lug around, the RG34XX is the perfect size. It slips right into a pocket, fits in any bag and never feels like too much. Whether I'm commuting, waiting for an appointment, or just relaxing outside, this is the handheld I always reach for. And here's the thing, I only use it for one system, the Game Boy Advance. That's it, no PS1, no SNES, no arcade games, just pure uninterrupted GBA goodness. There's something so satisfying about having a dedicated device just for one system. It keeps things simple, focused, and really enhances that nostalgic feel. Firing up Metroid Fusion, Pokemon Emerald or Castlevania Area of Sorrow on a handheld that looks and feels like a modernized GBA, that's the kind of experience I want from a retro handheld. No distractions, no endless scrolling through huge game libraries, just a quick, accessible GBA gaming whenever I want. And honestly, that's why the RG34XX has become my go-to handheld. It's not the most powerful device out there, but for what I need it for, it's perfect. And that's it for this quick comparison of the transparent green, Glacier and Indigo variants of the RG34XX, along with a look at the two best custom firmware options out there, muOS and Knulli. But now I want to hear from you, which color and firmware combo would you pick up? Or if you already own an RG34XX, how do you have yours set up? Drop a comment down below and let me know, I always love hearing your thoughts. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, I'd really appreciate if you give it a like, and if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure to follow TechCravers for more retro gaming and handheld videos in the future. That's it for now, thanks again, and as always, happy gaming!